The prison of approval. Most people are not free. They are locked inside a prison, and the bars are made of other people's opinions. You wake up every single day and you ask permission. Permission to dream, permission to try, permission to fail. You check your phone for likes before you even check if you're still breathing right. That's not living, that's begging. You are begging strangers to tell you that you're allowed to want more. And here's the shocking part. The people you're begging, most of them are stuck in their own prison, rattling the same bars, terrified of the same judgment. So you're asking a prisoner for freedom. Ignoring everyone isn't arrogance. It's the first act of a free man. The day you stop needing applause to take the next step is the day you actually start moving. Until then, you're not chasing your life. You're chasing a crowd that isn't even watching you as closely as you think. Silence the committee in your head. There's a committee that meets in your skull every morning. Your uncle who said you'll never make it. Your ex who said you're not enough. That kid in school who laughed. They don't pay rent, but they live in your head rent-free, and they vote on every decision you try to make. Most people never fire this committee. They let dead conversations and dead relationships control a living person's future. That's insane when you say it out loud, right? You're letting a voice from 10 years ago decide what you do today. Every time you flinch before starting something new, that's not you. That's the committee. Ignoring everyone means walking into that meeting room and shutting it down permanently. You don't need a vote. You don't need consensus. You need one voice in that room, and it better be yours, and it better be loud, because silence from you is an invitation for everyone else to keep talking. Critics are mirrors, not judges. Here's something that will shake you. When someone criticizes your dream, they are not talking about you. They're describing themselves. The man who tells you it's impossible is really confessing that it was impossible for him. The friend who says, "Be realistic," is reciting the eulogy of their own dead ambition. You are not being judged. You're being handed someone else's fear, wrapped up and labeled as advice. And the tragedy is, people accept that package. They take someone else's limitations and wear them like a straitjacket. Stop doing that. When criticism comes, don't ask, "What's wrong with me?" Ask, "What happened to them that made them say this?" That single shift changes everything. Critics show you their ceiling, not yours. So next time somebody laughs at your goal, understand you're staring into a mirror of their surrender, not a window into your future. Walk past the mirror. Keep building. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Everyone wants the result. Nobody wants the process. You want the body without the 4 a.m. workout. You want the business without the failure. You want respect without the years nobody was clapping for you. That's the sickness of this generation. Addiction to comfort disguised as balance. But here's the brutal truth. Comfort doesn't build legacies, it buries them. The gym is empty at 5 a.m. because most people are asleep, both literally and mentally. Ignoring everyone means ignoring the comfortable version of yourself too, the one who negotiates, who snoozes the alarm, who says tomorrow. Growth lives on the other side of a door marked uncomfortable, and almost nobody opens it because it's easier to complain about the room they're stuck in. Stop asking for an easier life. Start asking for a stronger you. The moment you stop chasing comfort is the moment your whole life changes direction. Your pain is your passport. Nobody talks about this. Your worst days are actually building something. Every humiliation, every rejection, every night you cried alone in silence, that's not wasted pain, that's raw material. Most people run from suffering like it's poison. It's not poison, it's a passport. It's the only thing that gets you into rooms soft people never enter. When you've already survived your lowest moment, nothing anyone says can touch you anymore, because words are nothing compared to what you already lived through. That's why ignoring everyone gets easier once you've bled for something real. Opinions from people who've never suffered for anything carry zero weight against a person who has already been broken and rebuilt. So don't hide your scars, study them. They are proof, not shame. The world will keep throwing pain at you either way. The only choice you get is whether that pain turns you into a victim or turns you into a weapon. Become uncommon among common people. Look around. Really look. Most people are asleep with their eyes open. Same routine, same excuses, same comfortable mediocrity dressed up as normal life. And normal is not a compliment. Normal is a warning label. If you want an uncommon life, you cannot get there by seeking approval from common people. It's mathematically impossible. You cannot build an extraordinary future by taking a vote from ordinary minds. Ignoring everyone is not about hating people. It's about refusing to let the majority's comfort zone define your ceiling. The crowd will always choose safety. You were not built to follow the crowd. You were built to make the crowd uncomfortable by proving what's actually possible. That's the price of being different. Isolation, doubt, whispers behind your back. Pay it, because on the other side of that price is a version of you the common people will one day study, not laugh at. What if everyone clapping for you right now is actually the reason you're still stuck? What if the people cheering you've done enough are the same people terrified you might do more than them? What if your comfort zone isn't a home? It's a coffin, and you've been decorating it for years, calling it peace. What if the voice telling you to slow down isn't wisdom? It's fear wearing your family's face. What if the moment you stop asking, what will they think, is the exact moment your entire life explodes into everything it was supposed to be? Stop asking permission. Stop waiting for applause. The clock is already running, and it does not care who's watching. What if the biggest lie you've ever been told is that you need everyone's approval to become who you're meant to be? What if the applause you're waiting for is actually the thing keeping you small? Think about that for 1 second. You've spent years adjusting your dreams to fit inside other people's comfort zones. You shrink your goals so nobody feels threatened. You whisper your ambitions so nobody laughs. And what has that gotten you? Safety? No, it's gotten you stuck, average, invisible, exactly where the crowd wanted you, right next to them. Let me tell you something nobody wants to say out loud. Most of the people giving you advice have never done what you're trying to do. They failed at their own dream, gave up, made peace with mediocrity, and now they need you to fail too. So their surrender feels normal. That's not family. That's not friendship. That's fear dressed up in a nice tone, sitting across the table telling you to be realistic. Realistic is a cage word. It's the word weak minds use to keep strong minds from leaving the room. You want to know the truth about criticism? It's not about you. Never was. When somebody tells you it's impossible, they are reading you their own eulogy, the death of a dream they buried years ago and never grieved properly. So they hand you their fear like it's wisdom. Stop accepting deliveries you didn't order. Send it back. Everybody wants the result. Nobody wants the 4 a.m. mornings. Nobody wants the silence of showing up when there's no crowd, no camera, no likes, just you and the work and the discomfort you've been avoiding your entire life. But here's what they don't tell you, that discomfort is the entrance fee. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is a passport. Every scar you're ashamed of is proof you already survived something that should have destroyed you. So why are you letting a comment section decide what you're capable of when you already know what you've walked through? Look around at Normal. Normal wakes up tired and calls it a lifestyle. Normal complains on Monday and repeats it every Monday for 40 years. Normal is not safety. Normal is a slow, comfortable funeral, and everybody's invited except the ones who refuse to attend. You were never built to vote with the crowd. You were built to make the crowd uncomfortable by becoming proof of what's actually possible. So here's the only question that matters. What if you stopped checking who's watching? What if you stopped negotiating your dream down to a size that makes everyone comfortable? What if the version of you that ignores every single doubt, every laugh, every be realistic, every dead voice from your past? What if that version showed up tomorrow? Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to approve you into greatness. It was always going to be you, alone, in the dark, doing the work nobody claps for, until one day the whole world watches and pretends they believed in you all along. Ignore them. Ignore all of them, not out of hate, out of necessity. Because your life is not a democracy. You don't need their votes. You need your discipline, your pain turned into fuel, and one decision made today that you refuse to take back tomorrow. This is the truth nobody hands you for free. Greatness has always been reserved for the ones willing to walk alone. The critics will keep talking. The doubters will keep doubting. The comfortable will keep calling you crazy, right up until the day they call you an inspiration. None of that is your problem to manage anymore. Your only job is to outwork the noise, outlast the doubt, and become someone so undeniable that silence is the only response left. Ignore everyone, not because you don't care about people, but because you finally care more about your own potential than their permission.
The mirror is the only jury you answer to now. Go check what it has to say.